Who would like to speak to that? Isn't it appropriate that we are next to speak to the planting and gardening, the seeding the ground and cultivating the ground, and taking care of the plant? How related is that to the children that we are nurturing and caring for? Okay, who would like to speak to that? Thank you. Okay.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Your Royal Majesty. This is a royal decree that's going to make us celebrate. We're changing the topic here to, and that previous royal decree, that's the end of this misery for Homo sapiens. And there's so much to celebrate about. I see, what I see here is returning to the spirit of farming that was mentioned on Queen Romana's post only a few days ago. And this is very important because if there's zero farming, there's zero food.
Correct.
And we have to be reminded that food just doesn't come from the grocery store. It comes from the farm and farmers. And Your Royal Majesty is setting the example with the 1.3 acres at your command center at the capital city of Richmond, Saskatchewan. And we're going to have a different environment, which only our benevolent Queen has visions of, because all these royal decrees are 26D. So this is going to prepare us for something even more magnificent than this. Thank you so much, Your Royal Majesty.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, next. His Excellency Michael Hawkins.
Thank you, everyone. This royal decree highlights the importance of community gardens, and as Her Royal Majesty Queen Romana Didulo I had said, get planting. Designs and community services that benefit we the people in our communities from coast to coast to coast in the Kingdom of Canada. This decree also emphasizes wellness and happiness and common sense planning in our city developments and towns and villages, and will be followed in the Kingdom of Canada. Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're welcome. Okay, who's next, Your Excellency?
Thank you. This decree always makes me think of the land of milk and honey, like in a fairy tale. Why didn't we think of this earlier and plant apple trees, plum trees, cherries, and pears in all public places? If someone is hungry, they can get some apples, and the children in the playgrounds have a tree house from which they can pick the fruit themselves. There is no more hunger anywhere. Point 2 of the decree: all cities in Western Europe, in Canada, must have urban and community gardens sufficient to feed their inhabitants throughout the year. This decree makes villages and towns independent and self-sufficient. No dependence on large food corporations, no dependence on their pricing policies. If people are hungry and cannot provide for themselves, they can be blackmailed. The old system has ensured that land is becoming more and more expensive. Our grandparents or parents still had a piece of land to grow vegetables. Until yesterday, under the old system, this was unaffordable for most people. Here, a square meter of building land costs from 700 euros with no upper limit. And you can only buy a normal pieces of land for cultivation if you are a farmer. They wanted us to live crammed into small apartments, blocks apartments with 30 floors, so that people are no longer grounded and don't even know how to grow healthy fruits and vegetables. They wanted to make us totally dependent. So I will walk through the city with a smile on my face and think of the land of milk and honey. Thank you for this royal decree.
You're welcome. I think the foods, commercializations of foods in the Kingdom of Canada, America, and around the world. The world capitalism, that word, everything you can trace back to capitalism, where everything was turned into profits. Foods were supposed to be for making sure that we, the people, had nutrients to live. Instead, it too was strategically and systematically commercialized and controlled by the select few. Even the people in apartment buildings. I have observed certain buildings in Vancouver that would not even allow for gardening, vertical gardening. Because they were friends with those who owned grocery stores. And what happens when you have people planting fruits and vegetables in their backyards or vertical gardening outside their apartments? The grocery store owners will have less customers to go and buy fruits and vegetables from them, because there won't be any need for we the people to go and make a trip to go to the grocery store to buy when they have it right outside their door or even inside their homes when they're allowed to garden. So you can go back to the commercialization of foods, everything for profit, capitalism. It's not so great after all for humanity, is it now? Yeah. Who would like to speak to that? All right.
Yes, it is me. So there, like some have alluded to, there's no excuse of, but I don't have enough space, because there are many ways to be able to plant. You can plant it on a flat rooftop. There was this video I saw, and there was so she had, like pavement blocks, and all of a sudden she looks and she goes, oh, there's things growing in between my pavement blocks. What if I would plant some vegetables in there, some seeds?
Yes.
And so in between the blocks of her cement blocks, she planted all kinds of vegetables. So if you can just expand your mind, There's places you would never thought of planting vegetables, but you can. And you'll reap them and be able to eat them and enjoy them. Why is it when you eat a vegetable from the store and then turn around and eat a vegetable coming out of a garden, this other vegetable is tasteless? So you have the utmost quality of the food and nutrient return when you have just picked it up from your garden where you've grown it. And as well, there's no doubt an energetic value that it no longer has when it's, sat on bin. Well, first of all, how much of that food is lab food and not true food? So that equates to the energetic payback that you get from food grown by yourself. And then also the one of the medicinal herbs. I walk in my yard and I gather alfalfa that I didn't even plant. Mother Nature is giving it to me and it just grows. I gather plantain, I gather dandelions, which to contrary of them being pesty plants growing in your lawn. No. The dandelions, you can make syrup with it. You can make tea that is very good for the thyroid, for different things like that. Burdock, I go gather. I have St. John's wort, and on and on. I have so many plants that just grow, and I didn't even plant them. Mother Earth just provided them for me. And all I have to do is gather them, dry them, and turn them into tincture or salves or whatever I do with them. So just start learning these things, we the people. Start being knowledgeable about these things, because it's all there for us. We just have to go gather it and use it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would like to just interrupt very shortly. A message to Her Excellency Gina Lee from your children. Mom, we are watching you all the time. Stay strong. You'll notice I haven't left the chair, but receive that message from your children, direct message to you. Okay. Next.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty.
Oh, Your Excellency Gina Lee, you're next.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I will revert back to Royal Decree 19, but I do appreciate the message. With this Royal Decree, what I really enjoy about it has to do with children and has to do with building outdoor living and the connections that we build within the community and within these apartment complexes and condominiums and all that stuff. All these children coming together and being able to take care of the community and to build within their communities and help, whether it's the elderly ancestors, whatnot, and everybody coming together and building strong. And it's really wonderful, this Royal Decree. And I thank you very much for everything.
You're welcome. Anyone else would like to speak to that? Her Excellency Violi.
I just go. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I just want to go back to the previous one, which was the public / community gardens Royal Decree. I am just so amazed at the wisdom of our beloved Queen and the brilliant mind to think of this Royal Decree to empower we the people and give them the ability to be sovereign, to fight against the forces that wanted to enslave us by controlling our sources of food And through this royal decree, the people are able to plant the food that they are going to consume, regardless of what the nefarious forces are doing. We can still provide for ourselves healthier food and sustain ourselves through a period of time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. And who else would like to speak to that? Okay, that's it. All right. And for those of you wondering how I was able to communicate with Her Excellency Gina Lee's children, I would like to also remind you that's the same energy where I did this with the radio. Correct, Your Excellency Judy Garbett? So, we are going to go to the next royal decree, and that is neighborhoods